Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Autism Stories. I'm your host, Doug Bletcher, the founder of Autism Personal Coach. Autistic people are the true experts of the autistic experience, and Autism Stories is where we interview autistic people to learn from their stories, experiences, and get their advice. If you would like to be notified about each week's episode of Autism Stories, we suggest you subscribe on your favorite podcast listening platform. We would also appreciate it if you could give us a positive rating and review, as it will help others to learn about autism stories. Day by day, I'm turning into an old man. And one thing recently I've learned about myself on this journey is that water is extremely calming to me. When I'm overwhelmed, being in water, it can be so helpful. So that's why I'm excited to talk to Danny Whitty today about his podcast, Ocean and Us. And Danny also talks to me about his sister as his communication regulation partner and strategies he uses when he becomes dysregulated. We hope you enjoy today's conversation. Danny, thanks so much for joining me today.
What it is? What is mine? What it is? What it was? It is
my pleasure.
And I wanted to start out, Danny, and learn, where does your story in the autistic community begin?
So Danny prepared some answers, so he's going to read them. He does tend to read a little quickly, so I'll reread if it's too fast. All right, where does your story in the autistic community?
Where does yours?
I
was diagnosed when I was a toddler. Having lost my speech and displaying unique behaviors.
I was diagnosed when I was a toddler, having lost my speech and displaying unique behaviors.
We moved from Japan to San Diego so I could undergo ABA, which was pretty full for me, but we stayed there.
We moved from Japan to San Diego so I could undergo ABA, which was pretty awful for me, but we stayed here.
I sort of just existed through public school and community programs and adult day programs until I found my first STC.
I sort of just existed through public school and community programs and adult day programs until I found my voice through S2C.
STC. I feel that my voice can finally be heard in the autistic community.
Now I feel that my voice can finally be heard in the autistic community.
So in many ways, I feel like I've already entered the community.
So in many ways, I feel like I've only recently entered the community.
Now, Danny, your sister's joining you today, and she became your full-time CRP, your communication regulation partner, in the past year or so. I'd imagine trust is an important part in one's relationship with their CRP. So what are some ways that you and your sister have went about developing that trust to be able to effectively communicate together?
You want to read your answer? We? Got it?
We already had a lot of trust. She has so much integrity and love, and has always looked out for me.
We already had a lot of trust. She has so much integrity and love and has always looked out for me.
We just needed the opportunity to immerse ourselves in spelling.
We just needed the opportunity to immerse ourselves in spelling.
She's understood and it didn't take us very long to reach fluency.
She is a natural, and it didn't take us very long to reach fluency.
Now, developing fluency in communication is probably an important skill. Are there some ways that you've developed fluency with your sister as your CRP?
I would say that what really helped us was our secret ego out of it.
I will say that what really helped was how she kept her ego out of it.
She focused on my voice and my right to communicate.
She focused on my voice and my right to communicate.
Even I say things about the peace to you, she holds my right to say them as sacred.
Even when I say things that might not be easy to hear, she holds my right to say them as sacred.
That sounds so important. Now, something that we have in common, Danny, is that we're both podcast hosts. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pissed because we haven't posted a new episode in so long.
I'm a bit embarrassed because we haven't posted a new episode in so long.
But we are editing new episodes now.
But we are editing new episodes now.
They also announce the podcast of us because I want to share more stories about real, authentic people working on
Working to
conserve the ocean and to share its water with a diverse audience.
The Ocean and Us podcast arose because I wanted to share more stories about real, authentic people working to conserve the ocean and to share its wonder with a diverse audience.
And I wanted to share my own journey in order to become a water person.
And I wanted to share my own journey in learning from a water person.
It is a triumph about communication and developing water skills that I can now enjoy snorkeling, started by the body surfing, and also swimming.
It's the triumph of my communication and ever-developing motor skills that I can now enjoy snorkeling, stand-up paddleboarding, surfing, and ocean swimming.
And I wanted to see if was a podcast as a minimally speaking or autistic was possible.
And I wanted to see if hosting a podcast as a minimally speaking autistic was possible.
That is why it is a freedom podcast for now, but as my speaking improves, I hope to also post it as audio only.
That is why it is a video podcast for now. But as my speaking improves, I hope to also post it as audio only.
Now, I'm excited to learn that there's additional podcasts you've done that are being edited, and I look forward to when those go live, whatever that is. Now, one of your podcast episodes, you became dysregulated, which so many of our listeners, I think, can relate to. What are some things that are helpful to you in regulating yourself so you can continue to participate if in the middle of a podcast interview that this occurs?
Mm-hmm. And so now we're going to shift. Danny's going to spell this live because we didn't get around to preparing, although he's seen all the questions. So do you want to answer that? W-O-W-I-T-I-S.
Well, we did this.
S-U-C-H.
Well, we did this.
You got it. A-C-H-A-L-L-A-N. Wow, it is such a challenge! Exclamation point. I-T-R-Y-T-O. I try to. T-A-K-E-B-R-E-A-K-S-I-F-N-E-E-D-E. I try to take breaks if needed. A-N-D-T-A-R-A.
And Tara?
Mm-hmm. C-O-A-C-H-A-S-M-E-T-H-R-O-U-G. And Tara coaches me through.
So it's because we do.
G-R-O-U-N-D-I-N-G. Mm-hmm. E-X-E. Tara coaches me through grounding exercises.
Exercises.
A-N-D-I-T-H-E-L-P-S-T-H-A-T-I-H-A-V. And it helps that I have interviewed friends who, you got it,
Hunter.
who understand me.
Mhm.
Exclamation point.
That.
Anything else you want to say on that?
What to say on that?
I-A-N-C-O-N-S-T-A-N-T. I'm constantly. W-O-R-K-I-N-G.
I'm constantly working.
Mm-hmm. You got it?
Oh.
I'm constantly working on my regulation.
Because you got my regulation.
So L-O-N-G-T-E-R-M-I-T-I-S.
Long term it is.
Mm-hmm. So long term it is.
It is getting better.
So long term it is getting better. Exclamation point.
That.
Yep. Now, where does your fascination and love of the ocean come from?
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Profound. You got it. You know it. Oh, such a profound question.
Oh, but that's a profound question.
ITHINKMANY. I think many people seem to have. You got it. I think many people seem to have an innate love. You got it.
For the ocean.
For the ocean. ATASSOPOWERFULL. But it resonates so powerfully with so many. And I am after NOEXCE. And I am no exception.
No exception.
IGUESSWITH.
I guess with
You got it.
with its exposure to the ocean.
I guess with each exposure to the ocean,
Come.
I
feel
fell
more in love with.
With each exposure to the ocean, I fell more in love with it.
Now, a part of the ocean are the mammals that live in those waters. On one of your podcasts, you talked about going to the San Ignacio Lagoon and got so close to some whales to be able to look them right in the eye. That would have really scared me, but what was that experience like for you, Danny?
It was so.
You got it. It was so overwhelming.
It was so overwhelming.
After GHEBSTW, but in the best way! Exclamation point. Get it? ITWAS.
It was
EYONDANYOTH. It was beyond any other wildlife encounter.
And I
was.
And I was buzzing.
And I was buzzing.
For weeks.
For weeks. I was buzzing for weeks after! Exclamation point.
Awesome!
Awesome! Exclamation point. Done.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about it? You got it.
It was a love. It was a love changing moment.
Life-changing moment! Exclamation point.
Now, Danny, you were talking earlier about how you wanted to see if hosting a podcast was possible, being a minimally speaking autistic. If there are other minimally speaking autistics out there that might be interested in hosting their own podcast, do you have advice for them?
Totally.
I totally do it.
Does it?
Yeah. ITIS.
It is.
TOUGHTO. It is tough to CONVEYOURWORDSA. After our words, it's tough to convey our words. BYAUDIOON. It is tough to convey our words by audio only. But you can, you got it, use a text to voice or FRIENDTO or friend to VOICEOV or friends to voice over.
Friends to voice over.
ORJUST D-O-W-H-A-T-I. Or just do what I do. And got it. Include captions or a transcript.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. T-H-E-T-O-U-G-H-E. The toughest? Mm-hmm.
Toughest. The toughest part is the
Mm-hmm.
is there.
Is the,
Okay.
you got it, the regulation
The regulation.
and the time it takes to spell. The toughest part is the regulation and the time it takes to spell. But I have F-O-U-N-D-T-H-A-T.
Tava.
But I found
The.
that I-L-O-V-E-L-I-S-T-E-N-I-N-G-T-O-O-T-H-E-R-S-P-E spellers. I found that I love listening to other spellers. S-P-E-L-L-A-N-D-I-T-I. I found that I love listening to other spellers spell, and it is A-N-H-O-N-E. It is an honest representation of how we communicate. Exclamation point.
And Danny, how can people listen to your wonderful podcast, The Ocean and Us?
I-T-I-S.
It is.
O-N-O-U-T-U-B-E. It is on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
A-O-U-R-C-H-A-N-N-E-L-E-Y-T-H-E-S-A-M-E.
By the same.
On our YouTube channel by the same by the same name.
By the same name.
T-H-E-R-E-I-S-A-P-A-G-E-W-A-L-L-T-H. There's a page with all the episodes posted. You got it on my website, DannyWithWords.com.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. That's where I find them.
Awesome.
Awesome! Exhibits what?
You got it.
Oh.
Awesome! Exclamation point. And then it's done.
Yep. Now, Danny, for me, the ocean, sand, and nature are all things that I find very calming from a sensory perspective. I was wondering if you could relate to that in any way yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I found so much peace and calm and even
I find so much peace and calm and even spirituality. Mm-hmm.
in the ocean and I love just what?
You got it.
Just wandering
And I love just wandering.
On the beach.
I love just wandering on the beach. After H, exclamation point.
It is.
N-D-I-C-I-F-O-R-M-Y-S-O.
On my soul?
It is like medicine for my soul.
I can agree with that, Danny. Now, on one of your podcast episodes, you talked about how
podcast episode.
You talked about how the ocean for you is a story of love and growth. How do you see your relationship with the ocean positively affecting other areas of your life?
Oh.
Ooh, Greatquestion. Ooh, great question.
Great question.
I-T-A, let's focus, A-N-D-S-O-L-U-T-E-L-Y. It absolutely.
It absolutely
You got it.
has shaped me in many ways.
Absolutely has shaped me in a minute. You want to take a seat? You're doing just great. You don't have. It absolutely has shaped me in many ways. HAS, you're doing great. BUILTMICONFIDEN. It has built my confidence.
Confidence.
It has built my confidence.
It has built my confidence.
And SHOMETHATICAN and shown me that I can do more. And shown me that I can do more than I had ever dreamed. And it helps
me.
Mm-hmm.
It helps me stay grounded.
It helps me stay grounded. And it gives me so much joy. And
so much.
So much. You got it? You're doing great. So much inspiration.
And so much inspiration.
THATCARRIESOVERTO. That carries over to you got it.
Rest of my life.
Carries over to the rest of my life! Exclamation point.
Well, Danny, I loved that, and I loved our conversation today, and you've inspired me to find the closest ocean possible and spend some time there. Thanks so much for taking your time to talk with me today.
I really enjoyed it.
You got it?
Really enjoyed it so much. Doug.
I really enjoyed it so much, Doug.
And if you're ever in San Diego,
please come.
Please come to the beach. Please with me.
If you're ever in San Diego, please come to the beach with me! Exclamation point.
Well,
Awesome! Exclamation point. Done.
I will take you up on the offer, and maybe you can show me how to surf.
OTALLY. Totally! Exclamation point.
Awesome!
Exclamation
Exclamation
point. Done.
Thanks so much to Danny for the conversation. To learn more about Danny, check out the link in the podcast description for this episode. I love Danny's enthusiasm and wanting to share his journey with others. If you have an interest in learning about how Autism Personal Coach can help you to better get involved in the things you love and share your passion or journey with others, then you can book a call with me today. A link for the call can be found in the podcast description of this episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Autism Stories, and if you did, if you could tell a friend, foe, or anyone you know about it so they could have the same enjoyable experience as you when listening to Autism Stories, it would be very much appreciated. Until next time, I'm Doug Bletcher of Autism Personal Coach. Talk to you then.